Here we have the Amber Eyes palette by Profusion Cosmetics, and it retails for $7, so you definitely can't beat that. It's not a new palette. I think it's been around for about a year already on the market, but it's new to me because it was recently sent from Profusion. And then they were also very generous to send over 7 of their eyeshadow brushes. So I'm going to go through every single one. The first one I'm going to show you guys is the ES2 Firm Blending Eyeshadow Brush. The next one that we have is the flat shader, the ES number 5. And then we have the flat precise eyeshadow ES7, the angled eyebrow EB1, and then we have the small pointed eyeshadow brush, the ES6, pointed crease brush, the ES3, and then finally we have the small firm eyeshadow brush, the ES4. Of course, I have to show you guys some swatches. So the first shade that we have is called Ideal, and then we have Chatty, and then Excited, which is one of my favorites from the palette. And then we have Likeable, Outgoing, Certain is another bomb-ass color in this palette. And then we have Fearless, Daper, we have Bite, which actually wasn't swatching as beautiful as I thought it was going to be. It looks so stunning in the pan, but yeah. Outspoken, and then we have Madly, which I was also having a hard time swatching that. And then the last one is called Cozy, the dark brown from the palette, and this one didn't swatch very nicely. So here we have all of the eyeshadows swatches for you guys. Now let's go ahead and start with the tutorial. Hi my honeys, welcome back to my channel. So I have a video for you guys today. I'm going to be showing you some brand new brushes from Profusion Cosmetics, and they also sent over the Amber Eyes eyeshadow makeup case palette. So I'm going to be creating an eyeshadow tutorial for you guys using this palette. The palette also comes with a brush as well, but you guys know me, I love to use my Morphe M433, but for today's video I did see these 2 brushes here, actually these 3, which I'm really digging. 4. These 4 brushes here, I really want to go into them and play with them and test them out for you guys. So I am not going to use my Morphe brushes today. I'm strictly going to stick to only these so I can definitely test them out for you guys. And that's why I didn't do my brows either, because I'm going to be going into their brow brush here and apply some pomade and see how I like it. I normally just use my Anastasia number 12 or number 18. I don't remember which one, but one of those brushes from Anastasia are my favorite to apply my pomade product on my brows. Change up the background a little bit, make it a little bit more fun for you guys. Definitely something different. Normally I don't do this, but I just thought, why not? Since this was definitely giving me burnt orange, coppery vibes. The Morphe M506, so you guys can see. Obviously I've used this a lot more, so I feel like the bristles have opened up a little bit, but it kind of reminds me of the Morphe one. So I'm gonna start off with this one first. I'm gonna go into the shade called Madly, which is this shadow right here. Actually, let's go into Outspoken, this shade right here. So the brush that I decided to go into, you guys, sorry I didn't mention it, it's the small pointed eyeshadow ES6. And what we're going to do is kind of create like a smoky liner towards the outer corner and then take it in towards the top lash line, but only going halfway. We are not going to take it all the way towards the inner corner. And then with whatever you have left on the brush, start to smudge it or blend it towards the bottom lash line. And same thing, you only want to keep it towards the outer corner. Yeah, I think I'm going to go into this one, which is the brush that came into the palette with no product. I'm just going to go ahead and start to blend that out and smoke that out. And then picking up the shade called Daper, I'm going to go ahead and start to blend out the first shadow that we did place, and then with whatever I have left on the brush, I'm going to start to buff it in towards the crease, but still focusing it mainly towards the outer corner. And then you just want to basically keep up building up the intensity and then start to smoke it out going towards the outer corner. And so that way we have a pulled eye effect. And yeah, just keep blending and taking it in towards the inner corner this time, but with whatever you have on your brush. Now it's time to cut the crease, you guys, and I'm going to do a half cut crease. I'm using the Profusion's Flat Shader Eyeshadow ES number 5 brush, and of course going into my Urban Decay Eden primer. Now I normally go in with the Sigma F75, which is a little bit thicker and bigger than this brush to cut my crease, but honestly I am not mad at it. It's actually working pretty well. So normally with the F75 I can cut my crease really fast, but with this one, since it's so little, I feel like you spend more time cutting your crease, but I'm still not mad at it. It got the job done. Now for the outer corners, you guys, I'm gonna go back into the same colors that we were using previously just to set this and erase these harsh lines right here. So just like what I normally always do. For the main lid, you guys, I'm going to go into the shade called Excited, which is this shadow right here. And I'm going to go back into the flat shader eyeshadow, the ES5, which is the one that we just used to cut our crease. And can we talk about this main lid shade, you guys? It is so beautiful, so stunning. I am obsessed. I kind of want some darkness towards the outer corners, so I'm going to go back into the small pointed eyeshadow brush, the ES number 6. And I'm going to go into the dark brown, which is called Cozy, this shadow right here. You want to place it like we placed the first shadow when we first started. And you guys, I'm not really a big fan of this dark brown, to be honest. I feel like it's the only eyeshadow from the palette that I wasn't very impressed with. But yet again, it is a drugstore palette, so we can't expect too much from darker eyeshadows. I'm going to go into the Firm Blending Eyeshadow Brush, the ES number 2, and I'm going to be picking up the shade called Ideal, which is this nice bone nude shade, and I'm going to apply this on my brow bone just to blend out the edges from all the other eyeshadows and make it look more airbrushed and more soft. So for lashes today, you guys, I went ahead and applied some individual lashes, and the ones that I'm using are from Ardell. They're the Faux Mink Individuals, which you can find at Ulta, Walgreens, and all the drugstores. So I'm gonna be applying them. I went ahead and already applied them on this eye. I just want something very natural, nothing too crazy. These ones are a little hard to take off from the little band here, so I just like to personally just take them off and just lay them like in sections. So we have the small, medium, and large here on the table with a napkin. I just find that it's so hard to take them off from the band. You guys can see here I lost a few. Place some of them underneath towards the bottom. I've been loving this technique because it actually looks more natural. You don't have to do this. You can definitely place them on top if you want. I've just been loving this way. Now, once I place the long ones, I'm going into the medium and applying the medium size. And then in the inner corner, we're gonna go in with the small sizes. Now for a brown liner, I'm gonna go into the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Demolition. So this one, you guys, I'm gonna run it down towards my bottom lash line. You definitely don't have to do this. You can skip this step if you want, if you're satisfied with how this looks. But I want a little bit of smokiness towards the outer corner. Going into the Small Firm Eyeshadow ES number 4, I'm going to go back into that shade called Cozy, the dark brown in the palette, and just smudge out this liner. Going into the Flat Precise Eyeshadow, the ES number 7, and I'm going to go into the shade called Excited once again, and a little bit of Chatty. And just put this towards the lower lash line. That brown eye pencil, I'm going to put it into my waterline, and I'm going to tie line my eyes as well. Okay, now it's time for the brows. I'm going to go into the Angled Eyebrow Brush, the EB1, and this one also has a spoolie. I can definitely appreciate that because I can brush out my hairs on my brows. I'm going to be using the Cut Brow in the shade number 4 pomade, and I'm going to go ahead and start to fill them in. Alright, my love, so I'm going to go ahead and finish off the rest of my face, and then I'll come back here and let you guys know my final thoughts on the brushes and on the palette. So I will be right back. My final thoughts on the palette as well as the brushes. So let's go ahead and start off with the brushes. Okay, so I'm actually really impressed with the quality of these brushes. I feel like they performed really well on the eyes. And are you guys surprised I didn't go into a Morphe M433? Like, I can't believe I didn't go into my brush. That's normally my ride or die. But these ones did such a good job. The eyeshadow looks really well blended. There's no patchiness, there's no lifting, no separation. And I feel like the eyes look really good. For being a drugstore brand, I am super impressed, except for the brow brush. Obviously, I already have my favorite, so I definitely won't be pulling this brush out, but I feel like it did a really good, decent job. I just, personally me, I just felt really weird with that. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like once you already have that specific brow brush that you normally use and it's like your go-to and you know that it's going to do a good job, that's how I feel with my Anastasia one. The eyeshadow palette, you guys, what do you guys think about it? I feel like it's a decent palette. I feel like the eyeshadows blended out really well. For being a drugstore brand, I feel like it didn't do a bad job. This is definitely an eyeshadow look that I would possibly wear out like to a party or to an event. I feel like it seriously looks like a high-end eyeshadow palette, and I'm very impressed by it. I would definitely say pick it up if you are interested. Again, you can find this brand at Target. I don't think you can swatch and play with the palette in stores. If you are definitely a girl who loves burnt oranges and reds, then definitely pick this palette up. I was a little disappointed from the brown shadow because it's not as pigmented as I wish it was. You can't even tell that I even have it on, to be honest. So that was like the only thing that I was disappointed from the palette. But other than that, all the reds, the browns, I feel like and the oranges worked out so beautifully on the eye, and they all blended really well together. So I will list all of the information down below, all of the brushes, the numbers, and where you can definitely purchase the brushes or the palette if you are super interested in those. Also, before I do let you guys go, I did have some issues with the Glam Fam 330 code for Morphe. Apparently you guys can't use it in stores unless you have a certain code. And also I went online to see if it still works online, and it actually doesn't work either. So I'm gonna put a screenshot here that I did get contacted by Morphe, and it was working previously because I actually used it. And my cousins used it too, so I don't know what's going on. I did send out Morphe an email. I also have other girlfriends who have the same code too. I mean, not the same one that I have, but a different one, and they also told me that it wasn't working. So I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry. Don't use that code anymore. Still waiting to hear back by Morphe. It's a specific program. It's called the Glam Fam by Morphe. So it's not an affiliate code, so I'm not getting paid for it. I never really was. It's just a code for a program so you guys can get $5 off. So I wasn't winning anything. If you guys are wanting a different code, you guys can definitely use Yvette, which is just pizza, and you can get some money off. So definitely use her code if you are interested. I think also Jenny69 has a code. Jeffree Star does too. So I do apologize if you've been going to the Morphe store and been rejected. That is super embarrassing, and I do apologize. I don't know what's going on. But once I do hear back from Morphe, I will let you guys know. But thank you so much for the heads up. You guys have been so awesome and so nice to me about the code. So I let them know, and all we have to do is just wait and see what happens. I love you guys so much. Besitos, los quiero mucho, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Have a beautiful day, you guys. Bye!